So this is a for each loop container is means based on the files it will run. It will run 2 times. Let's say I got a scenario. So I think most of you might get this doubt. I'm not sure. So let's say I got a folder 1. I got a folder 2. Okay. Folder 1 has the some files. Folder 2 has some files. Now when you use a for each loop container, you can point either to one folder only. You can't point 2 folders at the same time. Okay. So I can point this folder 1 and I can run for 3 times. I can next after completion of this, next I need to point this folder and run for 3 times. Okay. So how you are going to do that? Okay. So now you need to manually assign the task. Okay. So first time you need to run you need to run 2 times the for each loop container. First time when it runs, you need to map to this folder. Second time when it runs, you need to map to this folder. Okay? Yeah, ante. For each loop container ni 2 times run చేస్తారు. First and independent గా. First time మేము ఈ ఫోల్డర్ కి, సెకండ్ టైం ఏమో ఈ ఫోల్డర్ కి పాయింట్ కావాలి అలా. ఓకే? దానికి నేను అంటే మీకు ఫ్యూచర్లో 3 ఫోల్డర్స్ ఇవ్వడం కావచ్చు. అయితే నేను బై డిఫాల్ట్ ఏం చేస్తానంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను నార్మల్గా మనం చేసేది ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక టేబుల్ తీసుకుంటాను. ఓకే? I'll take one table because I want to explain along with this so that both will be covered at the same time. So in the temp database, I think it's a test or temp. So I'll use the same connection, which is it is a Badham's test. It's a Badham test, right? Okay. So I need to connect to the same server. It is a different server, so I'll disconnect it. Yeah, okay. Already I got the Badham test at the top. Select this. So it is a test. Click on this. New query. So now I'll create a table. Create table ABC, or I'll write test path. I'll write file path, folder path. Okay. Now I'll just give identity, ID as identity column, or else I'll give like folder ID, because if I have one, then I'll give the folder ID as one. So how many folders I have, accordingly I will be giving folder ID. Okay. Next I'll name it as integer. Next I'll give the folder path as varchar. Insert into folder path. So now what I'll do, I'll have the same folders, but I'll have 2 things. I'm copying these 2 files from the history. Okay, I'll copy this 1 2 3, copy, and I'll paste them in the folder, new folder. I'll name it as a folder 1, or else I'll name F1. I'll create one more folder called folder 2, F2. Okay, done. So in the folder 1 I'll paste that files. In the folder 2 also I'll paste that files. Control V. Now what I'll do, in the history I'm going to delete that all the files, and in the folder 1 I'm going to name the files as 1 2 3, and I'm going to delete one record from each file. Okay. Or else it's okay, nothing to worry, because anyway we are not worrying about the data, right? So here I am going to name the files as 456. That's it, done. 456. Okay, F1 and F2. So now I got 2 folders. So what I'll do, I'll copy this folder and paste them in that table. Okay, 1 comma, then the folder path is this one. I'll give one slash, both are same. Next I'll give one more 2 comma, this will have the folder path 2. folder path 2 means F2, right? F2 slash. That's it. Okay, you are good. Now what I'll do, I'll create a table and I'll insert the values. So now what I want, since see in the for each loop you're pointing the folders, right? Which folder you need to point, you're manually pointing that folder there, right? So what I need to do here is that I need to run 2 times. First time I need to pass this folder path, second time I need to pass this folder path. That's it. I need to run this dynamically. So for that purpose what we'll be doing, so I'll explain at the higher level. So we got the for each loop, whatever we did in this has a for each loop container. In that we have the data flow task, execute SQL task, flat file system task, we add it here, done. Now what we are going to do, there's one more task called for loop container. Okay, it is a like same in the Java you'll be having, right? For I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus, right? Hello, do you all know Java? So it's a kind of, so it will start from where I equal to 0. So it will run 10 times. For each time the I value will be incremented plus 1. Same like while loop. It will start from the I value 0. So it will run this process. So in that you can write code. So I'll give this way. It's a kind of same thing. For I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. So I is a kind of a variable. So you'll write begin and end. Now it will run. So you can write your code. Whatever the code you have, you can write. So normally the same for the while loop is that while I less than or equal to 10, begin, and you write some code here. I equal to I plus 1. Okay. It is equal to while loop, the same thing. Are you able to get my point? Okay, it is a kind of similar to while loop. So it will take 0 because in the while loop you are given the incremental inside the statement, but here you will give the incremental I plus plus in the same for each loop for loop only, like for condition. Okay, for loop. It's the same thing. In the SSIS also you will follow the same methodology. So now what we will be doing in the SSIS is that, so here you'll make this folder for each loop container to run for 2 times. You'll take this for each loop container to run for 2 times. For each time, if it runs for the first time, you'll take that folder path 1. If it is run for the second time, you'll take that folder path 2. And since it is dynamically driven, so you'll pass that folder path as a source to the for each loop container. అర్థమైందా మీకు? అంటే మానస్, చందన గారు, కొండల్, యా బేసిక్గా మీకు ఏంటిదంటే మనం ఇంతకుముందు ఫర్ ఈచ్ లూప్ కంటైనర్కి మనము డేటా సోర్స్కి లింక్ చేశాం కదా. ఎలా అంటే ఫర్ ఈచ్ లూప్ కంటైనర్ 3 times రన్ చేశాము అంటే ఫర్ ఈచ్ లూప్ కంటైనర్ 3 times రన్ అవుతుంది. ప్లస్ డేటా ఫ్లో టాస్క్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఫర్ ఈచ్ లూప్ ప్రతిసారి రన్ అయినప్పుడల్లా ప్రతి ఒక్క ఫైల్కి ఒక్కొక్కసారి రన్ అవుతుంది కదా. ఆ రన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఆ ఫైల్ పాత్ అది ఒక వేరియబుల్లో స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటుంది. కాబట్టి మీద డైనమిక్గా డేటా ఫ్లో టాస్క్లో ఉన్న సోర్స్కి మాన్యువల్గా మీరు డైనమిక్గా చేంజ్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా కనెక్షన్ ఆ ఫైల్స్కి. సేమ్ వే ఇట్ ఈస్ లైక్ assume this for each loop container as a data flow task and for loop as a for each loop container. It's in the same way. You'll pass that folder. You'll make the for each loop container to run for 2 times. For each time you'll pass the different folders. Okay. So now what I need to do basically, first and foremost thing is that because in the for each loop container I'm minimizing this. You can expand, you can collapse. Okay, because I'm collapsing this. Because my screen is small, right? I'm collapsing this. This is a for each loop container, right? So in order to run if I want to run this for each loop container, I'll give the path and files. So manually it will go to that path and check the files. So how many files is there? That many times it will execute. But for loop container is not like that. You need to manually specify how many times it needs to execute. Since the one thing I can do dynamically, Okay, I need to execute 2 times. So based on this number of folders path in my table, so I need the for each loop container also to execute 2 times. Like since I have here two right, folder path. Select star from folder path. So since I have 2 records, so I want my for loop container to execute for 2 times. For that purpose, what I'll do, before my doing that, I'll take the number of folders I have. So in order to take the number of folders, what I need to have one execute SQL task. Okay, so before that I'll create a variable. So I'll create variable for taking the number of folders. I'll it as number of folders. Okay, because I need to run the for loop container for 2 times. So the 2 times you will be getting from a table. So next day you might have 3 times. So the for each loop container should run for 3 times, right? So in order to make dynamically, so number of folders, it is of integer type. Done. Now what I am going to do, I am going to take execute SQL task. Here on this I'll write number of folders, get number of folders. Get number of folders, that's it. Click on this get number of folders, and what I want, connection. I'll give the connection as test because it is there in the test database, right? What SQL statement I want to see, if I count the number of records, I can do the count star, right? When I do this, I'll get the number of records. Since I have 2, so I'll get 2 records. Then, and one more thing, use it normally better standard is that always give them in the order. Okay, always the whichever the things you got the folder, right, I am giving them in the order, so that since when it runs for the first time I can get the first ID, when it's run for the second time I can get the second ID by default. Okay, dynamically I can get. So now what I'll be doing here is that it's not only for you can do it the other way also, but I'm doing the for, in order to explain the for loop container, I'm doing that. So I'll go this. Okay, so now what I'll do, select count, right? Select to count. I'll name the count as number of total, TF, total folders. Okay, total folders. Now when I do, I'll get 2 count. The column name I'll written as TF, right? So done. I'll copy this query and paste it here. And this returns 1 record. So I need to capture them, right? So I need to make the system to capture that 1 record. So in the result set, I'll take as a single row. That's it, done. Now I'll go to the, because I want to take that output and store it into the variable, right? Click on the result set. Now it will be enabled. Click here. Now I'll name it is a total folders, right? TF is a column which I will be returning. Done. Now I want to store it into the number of folders. That's it. That count will be stored into that folder. Okay, done. Okay, it is done. Now, as I said, I want to execute this for loop for 2 times. So here instead of 10, I'll be giving 2 because I want to run it for 2 times, right? So I'll be passing, since I'm taking that count and storing in the variable, right? I'll give instead of 10, I'll give that variable here. And so this I variable also you need to declare. Okay, so I'll declare that I variable as for loop. Okay, for loop, because it is integer, for loop. And I'll assign the value as 0 because I want, I'll assign the value as less than, right? Yeah, I'll assign the value as 0. Okay, so now what I'll do, keep the for each loop container aside, don't worry. Now I'll drag and drop the for loop container. So it will be in the containers, for loop container. Drag and drop the for loop, and this for loop should execute after getting the number of records. So number of folders, right? I'll connect it, done. Now in the for loop container, see, init expression, evaluate expression, assign expression. So init expression is nothing but I equal to 0. Evaluate expression is I less than or equal to 10. And the last one, assign expression is I plus plus. Okay, that's the thing. So now init expression, the first initial stage, I can give the value there, I can also give the value here. Okay, what is the value? At the rate of, what is the variable name I am having here? Oh, sorry. Oh, I click cancel because, okay, so what is the variable name? It is for loop. Click on this init expression, because it is a variable, right? I need to give at the rate of for loop. For loop equal to 0. Next, at the rate of for loop less than, less than not 2, because the 2 will be stored in the number of folders, right? I'll give at the rate of number of folders. Okay, because it will be dynamically driven. If I give 2, that is hard coded, right? Hello? Yeah. So next I need to give here at the rate of for. I need to increment the for loop equal to at the rate of for plus 1. That's it. You are good. Okay. So now every statement is correct. So I have given, right, 0 number of loops. So let's say I'll start with 1. It will be 1 less than or equal to 2. So first the for loop will be assigned as 1. So it will run for 1. After that, after once it is run for 1, next that will be incremented to 2. So 2 is less than or equal to 2. Less than or equal to. So it condition again it will run for the 2. Next, after running, it will increment 2 plus 1, 3. So 3 is less than or equal to, so done. It will stop. So it will run for 2 times, right? Hello? So since it is running for the first time, so what I'll do? So this is a path, right? So I think it has been some object. I'll change this path to some string only, because I changed it when I said, like previous videos, I covered some object, right? I said some how to load the tables from different database. So I think at the time I have changed it to the object, so that's why it is there. So now what I'll be doing, if it runs for the first time, okay, I'll write it here star. If it runs for the first time, then I'll get where folder ID equal to 1, I'll get that path. When it is run for the second time, where folder ID is equal to 2, I'll get that path. Okay, so this is condition. When it runs, I'll write select. I'll copy this. Select a folder path. Okay, where folder ID equal to 1. So then I'll get the path and I'll capture that path in a variable and I'll do folder path. Okay, I'll capture that folder path and I'll load into the variable. Second time when it runs, I'll capture that path and I'll load it into the variable. Okay, from where you will be getting this 1 and 2. This 1 and 2 is nothing but the for loop ID. This for loop. This one will be having that one value, right? When it runs for the first time, it will have the one value. When it runs the second time, it is incremented to 1, so it will have the 2 value, right? Hello? So to the execute SQL task, so we have seen one way for the execute SQL task. You can get the values from the execute SQL task, but you are not seen how to pass values to the execute SQL task, right? For the query. So now you'll be seeing what I'll do. I'll take the execute SQL task. Okay. Here I'll just write it as a get path. Okay, get folder path. Get folder path. Click on this. Okay, sorry, get folder path, click on this. Now I'll connect to that folder. Okay, I'll connect to the Badam test. Done. So SQL statement, what is the SQL statement I need? Sorry, I think I need to copy this. I'll take the SQL statement. I'll copy the SQL statement, and this too you will be getting dynamically. So I'll give question mark, because same thing we have seen for the OLEDB command. Whichever we are getting dynamically, we are given the question mark. So you will give the same as question mark. Done. You are good. Okay. I'll click OK. And you also need to take the output. So I'll take the output from here. It is a single row, right? Single row. And the column name I'm getting is folder path. Go to the result set. This is taking the output. So I'll take it as a folder path. This is a column name. And I want to capture that folder path in the path variable. Done. Okay. After that, I'm getting output. I need to pass the input. So go to the parameter mapping. I have given the first question mark, means first input. Okay. So I'll add it here. Which variable I need to add as an input? I'll need to add as an input as for each loop. So I'll just click the for loop. For loop is a variable which will have that value. So I'll go here and take the for loop one. Okay, I got it. Okay. After that, it is an input. Then data type. By default, you can give long. It doesn't matter. And next, see here. I'll just expand this so that you can see. Okay, I think I'm unable. Oh, I'm unable to expand it. Okay, leave it. Or else I'll maximize this. Yeah. So I'll expand this. Parameter size. This is a. Oh, yeah, parameter name. So what is a parameter name means? If I give the first question mark, parameter name will be the 0. Okay. If I have the second question mark, then the parameter will be 1. It will always start with 0, 1, 2. Okay. So I can give 0 because I am passing a first question mark, right? If I have multiple question mark, then I can give the first question mark as 0, second question mark as 1. That's the way I do. But since I have only one question mark, I will select only one and deleting this. 0. Parameter size by default you can give -1. So -1 means automatically it will reset according to the value. Okay, what are the size you got here, automatically it will reset. So better to give -1. Okay, are you able to get my point? Hello? Yeah. So this is a data type you will give. Long means it is a big int, right? So anyway, I'm passing integer. It may be a long or big. It doesn't make any sense. So I can give long. If you want integer, you can directly select the signed 2-bit one. Okay, you can select. It doesn't matter. See, large integer. You got this. You'll be having here. Yeah, short. U short. Okay, like you can select unsigned short. This is a signed short. Short means it is a like we have that tiny integer, small int, integer like that, right? It is a kind of small integer, so you can select accordingly. But long I default, right? So it doesn't care anything, so I'll select long. Okay, done. Now what happens when the for loop container runs? This for loop variable is set to 1, so it will run for 1 time. Again it will increment to 2. It is incremented for it will be 2. So then if it is 1, then I am passing a parameter 1 to this variable. So at this query, I am passing that 1. So when I pass 1, I'll get this folder. See, I am manually passing that 1. Okay. I'll get this folder for, see, I am increasing the size, F1. When I pass 2, I am getting F2. అర్థమైందా మీకు ఇది? Hello? So that one, I am manually, what are the path I am getting? I am manually writing that path into the folder path. Then we are good. So now what I'll do? I'll just take this for each loop container. What are the for each loop container I have, right? I'll take the for each loop container. Okay. Because I want to run after this getting the path, right? Connect it. Now click on the file loop for each loop container. Go to the collection. Now change the source folder name dynamically. I'll give cancel. I just want to see one thing. Okay, get path. Where do I am loading them? Okay, I am loading into the path folder. Okay, path. So go to the for each loop container, go to the collections, click on the expressions. Now here, yeah, I'm using the same path, right? So it will be done. It will be overwritten, so it will be okay. Okay. So what warning am I getting here? The path is empty. So see, now you'll get a warning. Previously I didn't get anything because the path is empty, right? So it's showing the path should not be empty. I can use some default. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. See, that's the reason I said, right? abc.abc. It should have some value so that the path will, since it will have some path, so it will not get, oh, it is a path, right? It is not .abc. I'll give the path. That's it, done. So when you give the default value, it will not show any error. Done. See, okay, you should have some default value. Now see, now I'll run the package. Okay, see, rest everything is same. Now the folder path will be changed, and each and every time it will be changed. Now you can see different things. So I'm minimizing this all the stuff. Okay, so whatever we did the for each loop container, the same thing we did here, right? So this is thing. Now what okay, I'll explain this one also, and I'm going to change the size so that we can see it clearly. 50. Okay, this is the size that we are having. I'll add a little bit out. Oh, in, I think, yeah. In in. Okay, so we got little bit, so I'm not sure whether it is clear or not, or else I'll give 100%, that will be okay, no problem. Okay, so in order to do that, what I'll do, I'll just move this for each loop container and this one side by side. Oh. This 2012 is very hard for moving this one. It will, if you try to move somewhere to see, it will go somewhere. I'm fed up with this one. It's a kind of debug, I'm not sure, because in other things, see, I try to move somewhere, so it moved to other one. See, I'll do Control Z. Yeah, okay, man. Anyway, it is taking some time, right? So I'll just do this. Okay, so this is the thing we have now. See, I'll keep here, let's say I'm going to keep an okay, so I'm going to add one more, like wait for 5 seconds, okay, before this for loop container. So I'll copy this execute SQL task to wait for 5 seconds, right? Copy, and I can paste it here. Control V. And what I'll be doing is that after running this for each loop container, I am asking the process to wait for 5 seconds. Okay, done. So this for each loop container will wait for 5 seconds, and this for loop container also will wait for 5 seconds in order to capture that events. Now I'll create a breakpoint on this data flow task. Create breakpoint. Now you can see each and every path. So on pre-execute and post-execute, everything is even same. Okay. So now we'll run it and we'll manually see the path. We'll manually see the number of folders. We'll manually see the number of files. Okay, name of file, and we'll see the for each loop like path. Okay, now I'll run and see. Manually, we are going to see each and everything. Oh, item with the same key has already been added. Oh, okay. Can anyone say what is the same key? I think this must be the issue, because both are having the same name, right? I think that might be that might be the issue. So now if I run this now, oh, same key. Oh yeah, failure saving the package. Okay, yeah, I think it's saying the item with the same key has been added. I've never seen this error. This is first time I'm getting that. Oh, we'll check that error, because this is first time I have seen. I never got this error. So it's a kind of like, so everyone gets the different types of error. Yeah, something error. See, the same key, failure saving the package, and at time figuring out what causing the error. Then reading the first error message, I looked at my package. Yeah. Uh, let's see this. I'll delete this. Try to save this. Yeah, it's saying, but here we don't have any same connection manager, right? Hmm. So we can debug in other way. Okay. Normally, how will I'll debug is just remove this. Okay. Delete this one. Delete this one. Don't save it. Just try to execute. Okay. So there is no issue with that. Okay. So I'll do a Control Z. Okay. There is no issue with them. So mostly there might be issue only with this file. Okay, there might be only issue with this file. So let's disable this and see what is this. Oh, data flow. No, I think it will not be an issue because no, I don't think that is an issue. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because item key is basically it might be two things. One thing I'm expect. Oh. It might be because of this execute SQL task. So it's the same ID, right? Will there be any ID for this? I don't know whether it will have the same ID or not. Let's see. Properties. Because everyone will have some ID, I think. Does it have any ID? No. I think it might be ID. Let's change this ID. Does it have any ID or somewhere it will have the ID? Just expand this. Oh. See, it's a radio. I didn't get any time because I created some hundreds of packets, but I never got this issue. So what kind of thing is this? Enable. Debugger cannot general expression. Item with same ID, right? Item with the same key has already been added. Okay. Because I think we got that issue when we tried to save that load merge files, collections, expressions, path, name of file. Okay. Okay, done. So let's decompose this one by one. Because I'm not sure this what exactly the error is. So what I'll do, I'll disable the other process, the for loop container. We'll check one by one. So disable it. I'm going to disable this one also. Load files. Edit breakpoints. Let's try to save this now. No. Okay. Let's try this. I'm not sure whether it's going to work or not. So we'll try disabling the each and every one. It doesn't work. First what I'll do, okay. I'll enable them. Enable. Yeah. I'll delete this or else I'll delete the file system tasks for some time and run this. No. I'll delete this. Yeah. So the issue was this one. Control Z. Okay. The issue is with the execute SQL task. Okay. Let's delete that. So let's check it again without that execute SQL task to check for some time. Yeah. So it is with the execute SQL task. Okay. So let's see what is the issue. I'm not sure. It might be the same ID. That might be the issue. I'm not sure. Okay. Hello? I'll just move it to the top so that we can keep side by side. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, finally I learned something. So I can enable this. I'll enable this. Okay, everything got enabled. Now I will connect to the, so everything is the same, right? So we just remove that file, wait 5 minutes one, right? So let's save this. Yeah. Okay. Hello? I think that might be the issue because we copied the same execute SQL task and pasted, right? As per my understanding, both the columns, see, when I select this, the ID is different. When I click this, the ID is different, right? Since on the same task, I should not have two IDs. When I copy this and paste this here, see, it is having ID D5. Oh, IDs is different. I think let's save it now. Yeah, now it's working. Okay. So sometimes I think actually it will never happen, but I got the issue. It might be because both the things in the package usually none of them will have the unique ID. It will be different IDs. Okay. So, but I don't know exactly what happened. So once we deleted, right? So it's fine. So, but it is. I think it's because of this since we copied and pasted last time. But usually it should show the different ID for each and everything. But it might have there may be some bug where it might have done the same ID created for other one also. Okay. See, when I click the ID changes. 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 Okay. So now that is because of the execute SQL task. So when we deleted, we added, so it's fine. Since we did undo, so it's again nothing happened. So we are fine. So now we'll start the process. So what I'll do, click on the data flow task, go to the edit breakpoints, add a pre-execute event, done. You're good. Now I'll run it. Now it will start execute. Now you can capture each and every variable. Go to the debugging, click on this, go to the locals, done. Okay, click on the variables. See now nothing has been changed. So it is the first stop, right? So you will not have anything in the red color. Okay, you can see here path as merge one. See, you can see it is a folder one. See, folder one, merge one. Where you are having folder path, we are storing the folder path in the user path. See, this will have the folder for F1. And what is the value for that for loop? For, right? There is one variable called for user for loop. See, the for loop value is 1. Okay, so now see again you will get the values. Wherever the value is changed now, all will be shown in the red color. You can easily identify them by looking at the red color. See, the path has been changed. That's it. Only that folder path, now it is pointing to the second file in the same folder. Now I'll do. Now it will point to the third file in the same folder. Okay, only that will be changed. See, it will point to the third file in the same folder, but the for loop is not changed. See, you can see the for loop variable, that variable is not changed. See, for loop variable, it is not changed. At the same time, the folder also is not changed, right? But now since we already loaded 3 files from that folder, so the for each loop will come out of the loop and it will again code for the for loop. So now that for loop will become 2, that folder also will become 2. See now. So we'll have 3 red marks now. Oh, sorry. I think I stopped it. Okay. Sorry. I have stopped it. So I'll again go back. Start it. See variables. Yeah, sorry. I stopped it, I think. So that's the reason it got stopped. So it is a folder 1, file 1, and you can see for loop as 1. Where is the for loop? Yeah, oh sorry, where is the for loop? Yeah, you can see for loop as 1. Now I'll execute. It will be at the file 2. See, folder 2. Oh, sorry. Why didn't get you? Do you know? I'll start because already we are moving the files to the history, right? So that's the reason it didn't have any files, so already it moved the files, so it can't see any of them. So that's the reason it ran for only one time, because we are moving that files, right? So that's the reason. So now I'll again go, I'll paste that files back. So Manas, this is your answer for the question. So if you have anything, go to the history, copy them and paste them into the other folder again. See, now you'll have the same thing. Yeah, locals. Now you can see it will be pointing to the folder 1. See, merge 1, and you can see the folder path also somewhere here. Yeah, this is a for loop, and you can see the folder path. See, F1 folder. Now I'll run it. It will run now. It will run to the merge2 file. Same F1 folder, but merge2 file. You can see in red easily. See, merge2, and everything is same. See, none of them is red color. You can see the for loop is in 1. Even the folder path is 1. But the file has been changed to 2. Now it will change to the 3. Since I am asking for 5 seconds waiting, so it is taking more time. That's the reason. See, now it will be changed to file 3. See, and after that none has been changed. Now since all the files, 3 files will be moved, now you can see when I go to the folder 1, see, merge3 file is not yet moved. So once it gets moved, it will move to the history. But folder 2, we didn't load anything from the folder 2, so folder 2 has all the files. Now see, when I click, that merge2 file will be, merge3 file will be done, and it will be moved. See, it will move to the history. So there will be no more merge3 file, and the history will have the merge3 file. Okay. So now see, since I am done now. Now see how many of red colors. Even the folder path has been changed to 2. For loop is incremented. See, now it is changed to F2 folder, and you can even see the folder path has changed to F2. Done. When I run this, now you can see them. See, F2 because already it is, so it didn't change from the previous value, right? So it's saying, see, file is changed to 5. Next it will be changed to 6. See, now it will change to F2, so it will be somewhere red color. See, 6. So when we are done, it will be done. That's it. See, now enter the package completely successfully executed. Okay. Yeah, done. Now package success completed with success. Now if I stop and if I go and see them, so all the files will be moved here. See, అర్థమైందా మీకు అందరికి ఇప్పుడు ఇది? అంటే ఇది ఓన్లీ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. మీకు మల్టిపుల్ సినారియోస్ ఉంటాయి. నా యూట్యూబ్ వీడియోస్ చూశారనుకోండి, దాంట్లో నేను డిఫరెంట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వాడి ఉంటాను మీకు. ఓకే, అంటే నేను ఇప్పుడు టేబుల్ ని తెచ్చుకుంటున్నాను. నేను ఫర్ లూప్ కంటైనర్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ డిఫరెంట్ కండిషన్, ఇఫ్ కేస్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏదో వాడి అలా చేసి ఉండొచ్చు, నేను చెప్పలేను. ఓకే, యా, ఇలా అనమాట బేసిక్గా.